Tonight on Zadanza, we look at the Christian equivalent of YouTube and also uh, a young dating Christian book. I guess it's not young dating, it's for anybody who needs
I
relationship
think it's
help.
mostly people who are married. The Love Dare
The Love
featured in
Dare.
Fireproof. Yeah.
Also, maybe we'll do a quiz about the Mandela effect. All that and more.
On Zadanza.
Whoa, crazy. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Zadanza. I'm Objectively Dan. That's Prophet Azad, aka Mr. Zed, aka the man on high, Fletcher from on high, saying flawless timing as usual. And I agree, we're always perfect with our intro timing. And
We've
never,
never once flubbed an intro. We've never
no,
once been sub perfection on an
no,
intro.
no.
Say otherwise is a sheer outrage.
I had a crazy day. It was a bad day, and it started off bad because there's no internet and I work from home, the house, so that's kind of bad. And I had to go to a coffee shop. Didn't get internet back at the house till like 3 o'clock. So spent most of my day working at a coffee shop. Not fun. Not fun.
That
Don't enjoy that.
sounds stucky.
But you
And
know
I'm
what?
sorry to hear.
It's Thursday, which means it's all worth it, Zod, because the squad, the viewers, they're here. We have some fun stuff lined up, and it's gonna be a good time, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You know,
That's cool.
sometimes days are just days.
Mm-hmm.
A family member told me recently, God works the good of those that love him, or when we're talking about the presidency and stuff like that. And I'm like, maybe. And sometimes people make stupid choices and stupid things happen. And, you know, life is just life. We're affected by our choices, other people's choices, and random chance.
That's
What can you do about it?
There's that too. I have a lot of things to be grateful for. You know, trying to be thinking about that. Hopefully, you guys are too. I know times are tough out there, so let's make things a bit brighter. And
We're on Zadanza. What could possibly be brighter than being
what
on Zadanza and watching Zadanza?
exactly? We are always so bright, on never pessimistic or cynical or doubting. You know,
Yeah.
always good about that. And I know what you're doing because
This show is an endless source of cheer.
it's you're so right, Baggy. You're so right. Look at the smile you've already brought to my face, and I'm sure you're bringing to the listeners at home.
I'm smiling too, but you can't tell because I'm a bag.
That's right. That's a good bit there, Baggy. I like that. I have socks in the other room. I could probably bring out Bingo. Bingo hasn't made an appearance in a long time, but maybe in a bit. Maybe in a bit. Or unless
Can I tell you a secret?
oh, what's that?
That guy gives me the creeps.
You don't like Bingo? Why, Baggy? Why does he give you the creeps?
Have you met him?
I think he's a stand-up guy. I think he cares about the community.
He's been on your feet for one thing, and who knows what else.
A lot of things. Uh-oh.
Oh, you're frozen.
I don't know if it's me or if that's Zod. But I'm getting frozen right now. Frozen screen. There we go. You there?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh no. It's happening. Was that you or is that me?
Super chat.
William Lane Craig was on Brad Stein's show. William Lane Craig has it on his YouTube. Stop. For $2. Thank you for the $2, Decibel 19. We have to look at that. Right? Like, oh my God. It's like Batman versus Superman. You know? That's crazy.
That's a way of putting it, I guess. Oops, sorry. No, Baggy's not kink shaming. Batman versus Superman. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, it should. It should be. Anyway, you know what? We should talk about something that people actually care about and are interested in. How about that? How about that, Zod?
I thought we already were, but
Oh,
okay.
okay. I don't know. I'm feeling. I'm not. So the thing about like being funny and doing stuff online is you kind of have to bring a certain energy into it. I gotta up my energy. Baggy was kind of helpful in that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. That was really good. Um,
Hey, Dan,
yeah. What is it,
pull your
Baggy?
fucking shit together.
Thanks, Baggy. That's the motivation I need.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think if we talk, I think if we use negative talk like that to other people, it'll really improve the world, right?
You know what else is good besides negative talk?
What's that?
Negative visualization.
Negative visualization. Tell me about
For
that.
example, pause, close your eyes,
Okay, close my eyes.
take a deep breath. Now, picture this.
Okay, I'm ready.
Brad Stein and William Lane Craig.
Wow, it's like Batman and Superman. I'm picturing.
Now try to imagine what they're saying.
What that? Okay, I'm so curious, but maybe we do need to watch that video today. Well, I don't know if we do right now. Maybe in a bit. But
Yeah,
what
let's not switch things up now, but
you don't
we'll
want to switch
maybe.
things up now. But what do you think that conversation looks like? Because do you think it's Brad Stein trying to be funny the whole time and William Rand Craig just like being real serious, or do you think it's like who do you think talks more?
Yeah, that's a good question. I
You
imagine it's a
know?
little bit like when he was on with did you ever watch the one where he was on with Jay Warner Wallace, where he was hosting him?
Yes. Yeah.
You could tell those were two men who both wanted to be the one talking.
Right.
And I have a feeling with William Lane Craig, it's a little bit the same way, except
Yeah.
Craig now is just a super tired old man. And I'm sure in his prime, he would have no business in the world being on Brad Stein's show.
Yeah. I can see
Well,
that too.
maybe Brad was more of a thing back. Maybe they both back in their heydays would have been more of a match. But where Brad's at now, not prime, Craig in his prime would have never had anything to do with that. But he's a washed up old has been who,
Oh my
you
god.
know,
Tell me how you really feel, Zod.
is he
But
not?
no, he is. I'm
He,
just saying.
I think we've talked about this before. I definitely have, but he's e- everything about him depended on his presentation and his appearance of confidence and stuff like that. And now that that's gone,
I'm
it's
just
just really pathetic looking.
I'm smiling because I'm imagining Brad being like, "So, Mr. Craig, what do you think about children with cancer?"
Excuse me, Dr. Craig.
Dr. Craig be like, "Well, I think they're pretty brave," and he'd be like, "Brave?" And you have a whole fight about it.
And then William Lane
Be
Craig
awesome.
syllogism that proves why they're brave.
He has a syllogism. Well, to have cancer is the plan of God, and God wants us to be brave. Therefore, I don't know. Something
All
stupid.
right, they said it's actually on Craig's video. It's on Craig's page? Could someone like tell us which? I'm on Dr. Craig videos and I'm not seeing it.
Oh, wait, what is this comment, Fletcher from Fawn High? I think there's an alternate Dan in the past keeping his parents from meeting. What does that mean?
Maybe it's because maybe it's because your picture is getting fuzzy, and so they think
Oh,
you're
is that
disappearing
what's
from the
happening right
past.
now?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Your picture is really fuzzy, and you're delayed a little bit, so your mouth is moving after you talk.
Oh, well, that's really good. Oh, I'm so glad. So glad they resolved all the internet issues that I had.
Yeah,
Great.
but it got us a little bit of
Oh,
sympathy in a super chat from Misinterpretations, contributing to help Dan pay for better internet service. You're looking a little fuzzy and delayed right now, but
oh
still funny
no.
as ever.
Oh no. Should I restart? Is it that bad? Would
Uh,
that help you?
I, I don't know. It could just be as simple as your internet. If they're having internet issues, that's what I'd initially put it to.
It's saying my connection's unstable right now, actually, but I'm on an Ethernet, so
Brian Stevens said, Mr. Zazanza, I don't feel so good.
no, no, don't do that to me. No. Okay, is it workable though? Is it workable? Can we make it work?
I think it works.
Okay, all
If you
right,
were like
all right.
totally frozen or something like that, that'd be different if your audio was breaking up.
You don't need to see me as long as you
Oh,
can hear me.
Decibel 19, another $2. Thank you. His Reasonable Faith channel. Okay.
I know the reference to, I know freaking Marty McFly, B.S. Lewis. Okay, I understand. I just didn't know I was getting fuzzy right now. All right.
Oh,
That's
it's
just
called
back to the future.
Atheism's Flaws. William Lane Craig and
Stop.
Brad Stein.
Stop. No, oh my God. All right, we have to watch it. Not tonight, I guess. Maybe next
But it's
time.
it's like an hour-long stream. Like, what are we gonna
Okay,
do
yeah,
with
we
that?
gotta watch. We gotta find the good parts. There's no
Yeah.
way we're gonna, no way we're gonna watch an hour together.
Okay, but I got to at least. Oh my gosh, this is insufferable looking. Okay,
Oh no.
I'm gonna share a screen right now, real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna lower the resolution of my camera. See if that helps. Um, let's go down to this maybe. Oh no, I'm in the corner.
Oops.
Here, we'll move that over. Maybe this will help a little bit. Or I guess I should adjust the stream settings.
Okay, there's our thumbnail right there.
Oh my God. Ew, he's making a face. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and
That
Craig's like
sucks.
putting on some weird big smile.
Oh, that
I'm pretty
sucks.
sure those are just existing pictures, and somebody put those because they look like a couple just goofy guys talking about how silly atheism is.
Oh no. Oh no. He probably, he had to send him that shot too. They're like, "Hey, give me a shot of you." And that's the one he sent. He thought that was the best one. That's so funny. Oh
Those two
man.
talking about atheism. I'm starting to come down. We were getting up a little bit, and I'm starting to come down. Let's
All right,
let's look at
okay.
some GodTube.
Let's look at some GodTube. So, I can't remember how I found this. It was through some clicking around. Some maybe it was Reddit post or something I saw. But anyway, I found this website called GodTube, and I guess the point of GodTube is like you just want to watch safe content. YouTube. There's cussers. There's gay people. All kinds of folks that your good Christian little hearts and minds don't want to interact with or even know exist.
There's even
So
Zadanzas on YouTube.
right,
You got to
exactly.
really watch what
So
you get into on there.
there's all kinds of stuff going on the GodTube that will make that present for you. And my first thought when seeing this website, let's pull this up here, is this looks like a website for adult content. It's like it has that same kind of vibe, same kind of energy. Maybe I associate any video website that isn't YouTube to be adult content, and maybe that's what's going on. But there's something about it that I
I
don't
wouldn't
like.
know because I say no to porn.
Right. Well, that's your thing. But here's the comedy videos. They got sweet elderly couples hilarious argument about belt loops and suspenders, and German Shepherd's fearful reaction to sweet tiny kitten will leave you in stitches. You know.
So
So
basically, something the pastor would play at church because he thinks it's funny.
right. This is the comedy section. There's other sections too, but what's great is that look at this, Sod. This is on their most popular section
Oh
down
God!
here, and they've made the mistake of leaving the view count on these, and it's it's not great. So one of the most popular videos today was a video with 87 views apparently,
Whoa!
which is great. But then you have this one that has 40,000. Hilarious ballet routine will leave you in stitches. So, like, perfect content for grandma to email you and email you the wrong link also
Yeah,
and give you a
that's more what
virus.
it is. It's not as
Yeah.
much. I thought of it as something the pastor would show you. But maybe a little that, but it's definitely much more what your aunt would email you.
Yeah. And there's look, we got comedy, cute, inspirational, ministry, movies, music videos, popular hymns, and sermons. And they got other stuff on here too. They got devotionals, they got music news. You can even get Christian concert alerts. So there's a
Ooh.
lot of stuff happening on this site. Very cool. But one thing's odd
So
is
hang on,
that
could you go through real quick and just read the view counts for all those? I can't see them, so just read the
okay,
view
yeah,
counts for
this
all the
one
top
is
performers.
we got 737 views right here.
Okay.
This one's 704. This one's 87. This one's 429, but this one's 40,000. But it was posted 10 years ago. So this website's apparently been around for a minute. And then this one's 34,000. So like, you know, just like random views. And this is on the most popular today. So
there's an alternative to GodTube being around a long time. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah. I don't know, but they also have some new stuff, and I want to show you some of that as well. But what I want to draw your attention to is this right here, Zod. They got a big old upload button because you can make an account and post stuff yourself if you want to. So what I'm thinking is, folks, if you have a great clip of Zidanza that you think the good netizens of GodTube should watch, you at least have my permission to put it up there. I don't know about you, Zod, but I think Zidanza should make its debut on GodTube at some point and see what kind of traction we get. What do you think?
Yeah, we can see if we get ourselves sent to El Salvador for harassing Christians.
Do you think they'd hunt us down? We're not harassing anybody. We're just sharing our content. You know?
That's true.
For the Lord.
That's true.
Or something.
Yeah, I would say go for it. Just don't put swearing or, you know, things that their bots will automatically easily catch, assuming the site has bots.
Yeah, I don't know. But it seems like anybody can make an account. So folks at home, you want to, you know, if you want to give back to GodTube, for all the countless hours of entertainment it's given you, no doubt, you know?
P.S. Lewis says baggy on GodTube. We could just make baggy videos and put them on GodTube.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody asked what's the terms of service. We should look at that. I haven't, we can go to the FAQ. I do want to go to that at some point. Because that one's kind of interesting. But I have some links here for us to look at as well. One thing I do want to show you, though, is if we go to, where is it, podcasts, because I did discover this, and I sent Zod a picture of this when it happened. Oh, no, maybe my internet isn't doing super hot because the pictures aren't loading. This isn't great. I hope it loads. No, come on. Please. Anyway, there's Brad Stein. He's also on this website. So his podcast is one of the featured podcasts of GodTube. So maybe he's doing more views on there than YouTube. I don't know.
So I don't want to give up too much right up front. I don't know how you want to reveal this. Do you mind if I say something about how the videos are presented?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, go for it.
Sometimes these GodTube videos are actually videos that are uploaded to GodTube. Sometimes you click on a video and it's just an embedded video from YouTube.
Right. Which is very confusing. I don't know how that works.
Do you want to click on one and see if it'll work and just show everybody what you get when you go to a GodTube video, or do you want to do this stuff first?
We can do that. Let me show you like some of the content that you see when you do click on a video. So let me pull this link in to the tab that I'm sharing from.
Ooh,
what's that?
Scuzzbopper says wouldn't take much to hit the most watched. So if we upload just a slightly like do a bingo or baggy thing where it's like I'm doing a puppet show with Baggy, and it's like right on the edge where you can't tell if it's sarcastic, and then everybody from Zidanza go watch it so it gets on the most views.
We could get on the most easily. Zod, we could be GodTube front page. Oh my god. I really want to do that.
That would be wild.
We should make that our goal. So like here's a taste of what some of this looks like. Tim Conway as a rookie angel has Harvey Korman in stitches in hysterical sketch. And then they have these like really long descriptions. So like as a rookie angel, Tim Conway has Harvey Korman in stitches in a hysterical sketch, which is exactly the title, which is great. These two comedic legends delivered an absolutely hilarious and iconic sketch while playing a couple of heavenly beings. Watch the short clip to see how Tim's laugh out loud antics caused Harvey to burst into laughter on multiple occasions. And it's just like this whole,
I want you to read that
thing.
whole thing for us.
No, it's like I almost wonder if it's AI because it's like it's just so much text here. And then they put a little like quote at the end here. Job 8:21. The time will come when your mouth will be full of laughing and cries of joy will come from your lips. So apparently, this video really gives you some cries of joy from watching it.
So one thing
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up about that. If you don't want to read the whole thing, that's totally fine.
Mhm.
But basically, most of those are like these long devotionals where they start talking about the video and then they get
Yeah.
into some devotional Bible lesson and always close with a Bible verse. And usually this one appears the top part is actually a video, right?
Yeah, this is a video from you. No, this is from YouTube. So
But often the top is just is just like a screenshot of the video or a
yes,
screenshot of the thumbnail. And
correct.
so in order to watch the video, you see that at the top and nothing happens when you click on it. So you have to scroll through the entire devotional and Bible verse. And then there's a video at the bottom that might be GodTube original content or might be just an embedded YouTube video.
Yeah, it's very confusing how it actually works uploading content here. It doesn't seem to be consistent. And like, so I just don't know who's posting this and just like where it's coming from, because we'll look at some other ones here too. But just this, I just want to show you what this hilarious, hysterical sketch is all about, Todd. Because I mean, it's so funny. It's
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol.
Paging Angel Haddington.
Yes, Archangel.
I'm sending you a new cloudmate.
Oh, but you promised I could have this cloud all to myself.
Sorry, the housing shortage has even reached here.
Oh, but I have to polish these halos and tune these harps. I won't have time to break in a new cloudmate too. It's just not fair. You hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, your party is hung up.
Well, get him back. Hello? 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 Gee, I hear a harp. It must be in heaven.
anyway.
What
So
that just looks like a corny old sitcom thing or TV
aren't
show.
you laughing? Aren't you laughing, Zod? Isn't this the funniest thing you've ever seen?
No, I feel like the only thing that's Christian about this or has an appeal for Christians is that it's probably old, clean comedy, and also that they're angels, and so they think it works for GodTube, I guess.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of clips from this Carol Burnett show, which I had never heard of.
Wait, say her name again.
The Carol Burnett show. Wait, am I saying it wrong? Probably am.
You're pronouncing it like a champ. Go ahead and
is it not Carol? Is it Burnett?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I wasn't around.
I just want to make sure the chat heard you say that so they can talk about it for the next few minutes.
I was just confused because it's like, okay, is this like an old Christian show? But it's not. It's just like some old sketch comedy thing. But it's like being repurposed on this Christian website for GodTube because it's like an angel sketch, I guess. So
well, and even aside from the fact that it has angels in it, I think Christians like a lot of old timey, quote unquote clean comedy, even though back in that day the Christians would have been screaming about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's you're probably right, but I guess according to this description here, it's like the funniest thing ever. But anyway, that's just one thing I wanted to show you. Just the kind of stuff that they think is just top notch here, because this was on the most watched page. So I wanted to share that. But there's other weird ones too. They try to there's not just comedy, right? There's also inspirational content.
Ooh,
so here's one here. Woman addicted to drugs, contemplating suicide, finds hope in life in Jesus Christ. And this one I'm less interested in the video, but I do want to read more of this description so you can kind of see what this is like. Because the story to this is just a little sus, like it is for a lot of these kinds of things. I don't know this woman, I don't know her life, you know, if she's recovered from whatever, you know, I hope she does well. I'm more interested in what these people have to say about her. So let me show you what I mean.
Here on
A woman
Zadanza, we
addicted-
are not strangers to sus stories.
That's right. That's right. A woman addicted to drugs contemplating suicide and facing jail time finds hope in life in Jesus Christ. She shared her powerful testimony about Christ's life-changing and life-giving love, forgiveness, and grace. Watch this video to hear how Christ's love and mercy saved and completely turned a woman's life around. So again, it's like advertising this video, which you can just watch. Like you don't need all this. But I feel like this is filler so that when you send your email to your grandson Jimmy, you're giving him context instead of just the video. So now you can put all this in the text as well. I don't know. That's my theory anyway. Or it's just for like SEO or something.
Yeah.
But very strange. The world is a lost, cruel, and broken place that is inhabited by many hurt and struggling people. These individuals are searching for something, anything, to make the heartache and pain cease. Sadly, for many people, the hurt and pain may get so bad that they see no alternative than suicide, taking their own lives. In a video posted on YouTube, Christina Baker explains how she was in such a situation. She, who was trying to numb and escape the pain of her past, started using every kind of drug I could, she said. She continued using drugs, and then one evening, she was pulled over by a police officer. Christina had a large amount of drugs in her vehicle at the time of the traffic stop. She was arrested. After posting bail and getting out of jail, this did not solve Christina's problem. She was still dealing with the incredible pain and hurt from her past, so she made plans to take her own life. But God had other plans for Christina. Any questions so far? You good? Following this story?
Yeah, nothing really profound or mind blowing here. This sounds
All right.
sounds like stuff you hear at church every week.
Here we go. So I'm sitting at my desk, and at the very moment I'm contemplating taking my life, this man taps me on the shoulder and says to me, "I have a word from the Lord for you." She said, "How could he have known what I was just contemplating in that moment?" I'm ass- I'm assuming this is a desk like at jail, like because she says she's sitting at a desk, and she
And
was
that man
arrested.
was Albert Einstein.
And that man was Albert Einstein. That's right. That's right. But it's just like, of course, like people are gonna preach to you in jail, right? Like I don't know if that's like the most, but I guess she's in a dark place and they want to speak to her. So
Well,
anyway,
there's hella preaching going on in jail.
exactly. Christina adds that this mysterious stranger starts reading from the book of Jeremiah, specifically Jeremiah 29:11. After reading that verse, which mentions God's plans for our lives to give us hope in the future, he asked her a critical question. Did she want to accept Christ as her personal Lord and Savior? She did and felt instantaneous relief and comfort. The boulders I have been carrying around for 20 plus years of my life, it was like somebody came and picked it up off my shoulders, she said. The chains were broken instantly. Even though Christina had turned her life over to Christ, going to jail was still a real possibility for her. However, God had another miracle in store. After she spoke to the district attorney, Christina's lawyer received a yellow piece of paper. It was an order of dismissal. The charges had been dropped and she was free to go. I was guilty, she said. Everything that happened that night, I was guilty of, but yet he came in and wiped it clean, and I walked as a free woman. And that's what the cross has done for you and I. We, through the cross and the blood of Jesus and the power of his blood, have been forgiven of all our sins, past, present, and future. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts I think towards you, said the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. So all she had to do was talk to the district attorney. And she was good, I guess. That was it. And I guess the Lord got her off on those charges. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. So this sounds a lot like I prayed to God and went and got surgery and I got better. Like,
yes, it is
great,
like
yeah,
one of those.
You accepted Jesus and also your lawyer talked to the district
But
attorney.
also your lawyer talked to the DA and got you off the charges. They don't say what drugs she was packing. And I really wish I knew, because what if it was like fentanyl? You know what I mean? Like, what if it was like the stuff that conservatives really get riled up about? I wonder what that would have been like,
Jesus
if it's
turned to
weed or
fentanyl.
something, that's one thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that's a very funny twist. Maybe you don't find that as funny as I do, but like the idea of I accepted the Lord. I also got off all my charges, like
Yeah, either because Jesus did it, or as Erica says, because she's white.
Right, because it's like, what if she like murdered someone, and it was like, oh, well, I definitely did the crime, but you know what? My lawyer talked to the DA, and I'm good with the Lord, and I'm good with the state. You know what I mean? Like, we're all done here. I don't know.
As a now disgraced comedian once said, it was always legal for us.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, yeah. One has to wonder about her being a white lady, if that makes it a little bit easier for her. I don't know, but
But that's never going to enter in the mind of the intended audience. They're just going to,
yeah. Again, I don't know this lady. If she's doing well, that's great. Happy for her. But the wording of the story is just really funny to me about,
yeah.
yeah, the video is not super interesting, but you get these kinds of descriptions, these kinds of like, the email chain that you accidentally signed up for and get 5 messages a day from some site you never heard of. That's probably stolen content. That's what it feels
Yeah.
like.
The video is already more boring than the text just by looking at the picture. Like you can just tell, like this is something you've seen at church 1,000 times.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see. They had a really great devotionals, and here's the different categories. I think that tells you also a little bit about the target demo. We've got Bible, today's devotional, daily encouragement, senior living, daily verse, and your nightly prayer. So
it just looks like a collection of stuff that even Christians will just be super bored by.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they don't really try that hard to make it that exciting now, do they?
What they're trying to make it is something that Christians would feel virtuous when they're going and doing. And I think there's a whole genre of stuff, from Bible study books to even certain movies and stuff like that, that you just feel like you should be enjoying it as a Christian, or it's what you should be doing, but you're bored the whole time. And maybe you'll buy it because you're resolved to, try it or whatever. And maybe some Christians will get on this because if GodTube was smart, they would advertise this on like a plan basis. Like, hey, make sure to get on every day instead of YouTube, just one time a day, get on and get some encouragement. Or
they need the Ben Shapiro of GodTube. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to Daily Wire, you're probably watching Ben Shapiro. So they need their own little personality to get them on there. Maybe it's us, Sod. Maybe we'll be the new face of GodTube.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. What if we posted, let's say something blew up. Let's say we got like 100,000 views. You think they would take us down if we kept posting and we kept getting views for them? Or do you think they'd be like, well, they're bringing a lot of traffic to the site?
It depends on how obviously sarcastic we were being, I think.
You think?
I mean, whatever views we got, we'd be basically ruining their brand if we were obviously making fun or being irreverent. So I don't think that would just basically, you're not going to destroy your whole site for 100,000 views.
We need to look at the terms of service if we're actually breaking the rules, but maybe we can contest it, And several people point out, yes, that last video did have a CBN logo in the corner. That was a Christian Broadcast News, like, just, I guess, I don't want to say re-upload, because, like, again, I don't know who posts stuff here. I guess it's a real upload, but it's like with a blog. Anyway, I don't know. There's nothing special about this daily living for seniors page, except I just wanted to read this headline right here, which is, how healthy is your soil? Which I just think is funny. Like, I don't know.
It sounds like that's if you have a yeast infection.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there's a lot of words in the
phrasing, Lana.
That's the one you picked, huh? How healthy is your soil? I don't want to know if your soil is healthy. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's just for you to know. But hey, there you go.
Hey, if there was a Ben Shapiro of GodTube, he would say your soil should be nice and dry.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're totally right about that one. Let's see. So what other content did I have lined up on this site? Actually, let's go to that FAQ. Let's go to that.
I'm willing to just about bet that GodTube's business model, if they have one, is not about it's not about getting actual views or anything like that. I think it's probably more along the line of either making you feel like something Christians feel like they should go watch, or else like building support on. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the model is ads. And I have ad block on, and right now, ad block is telling me it is blocking 205 items on this page. So I think there's
Holy
a
shit.
lot of ads
You
that
better
are
have your
posted
computer
on.
looked at after tonight.
Yeah, I was like clicking through this website, right? And I'm like, why does it take longer than normal? Because this wasn't just happening today where I was having internet issues. It was happening early. And I realized it's because AdBlock has to take time to like go through all the content and block all the stuff before it shows me stuff. And I legitimately think it's slowing like the load time of the site, which is hilarious. So that's where they're getting.
I hope I'm not getting a virus from being on this show with you right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? I don't know how many degrees of separation you got to be. I think you're probably okay. Poor Claire gave $1.99, said GodTube only has 2.1 stars in the App Store. That's it. I didn't even think they'd have an app, but I guess that makes sense. You know, got to get your money from somewhere. That's where they're at these days, on the app site here. But it's been around for a minute. Okay, yeah, we were going to go to FAQs. Let's see. Where was it? Under more. Okay, FAQs. Here we go. FAQ and help. Yes, I clicked on it and it's taking its time to get there. And it's been like that for me. Okay, so frequently asked questions. I'm having trouble watching videos. That's not good. And then they post here, I'm sorry you're having trouble viewing videos. I know how frustrating this can become. Please check to make sure you have the latest version. And here's how you know that this has been around a while. How can I tell if I have a current version of Flash Player? So this is still on the FAQ, posted in November 2012. So this has been a while since this has been updated. Yes.
Whenever just so you know, I'm on my phone looking at negative reviews for GodTube, the app. If you ever want me to read them, just let me know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, definitely read some out.
Okay. Well, a lot of them are technical stuff, like won't let me log onto the app, but the website works.
Are any of them in like all caps, or do they have like ellipses after each sentence?
No, they don't.
Oh, dang.
Won't let me log onto the app, but the website works. Charge me $49.99, and for what? Don't use this.
Oh no, $49.99. Oh,
doesn't work, frowny face. I cannot click on any videos despite signing up. So bad because there's such trash on YouTube. So a lot of these are like, Christians intending to actually. I downloaded this app thinking finally there is a clean app where Christians can have clean entertainment, but no. I got into the app and tried tapping a video. Nothing. Restart it. Nothing. Don't download unless you want to be disappointed.
Dang.
Nothing works. You can't play videos. Really shameful. Years ago, I had an account here. Now it's like a Trojan horse with your sign in automatically going to some shady fitness site to charge you $2.
What? Oh no. I guess GodTube's kind of shady. Didn't realize that. Good thing I got the ad block going on.
Yeah.
I really hope I haven't downloaded anything sketchy and it's like legitimately that's giving me issues on my computer. I don't think that's it, but how funny would that be?
App no longer works. Videos do not play. Devotionals don't open. Used to love the app until it stopped working.
I legit need to do a scan. I need to do a virus scan after this. Oh well, I do this for you guys. I like this.
Yeah, most of the.
Oh, go ahead.
So there's no like this thing's corny as shit or whatever like that. There's no hate. These are all like Christians who just are mad that it doesn't work. All links do not work except the ads. The ads are way too obtrusive. I realize the creators need an income stream, but it seems they're more diligent in making sure ads work than content.
Dang. True. Yeah, that's so wild. Yeah, 205 items is a lot. I imagine it's one of those pages that just is like the content's near the top or at the top, and it's just ads all the way down, you know. But I have not looked at this site without ads. I mean, I could turn ad block off for it and see what it looks like.
Oh, don't do that to
But
yourself.
all right, okay.
I have
I
a
like
feeling
this
it's like a porn site in more ways than just the appearance. It's
You're
also
probably
the-
right. I like this one where it says, "Why can't I play the videos I get in my email?" Which is a good one. Back in 2017. I
B.S.
haven't
Lewis
looked
says, GodTube response, you have free will, so it's your fault.
Yeah, try praying about it. Is I think what should the response be? Why are there? Oh, I didn't see this one. Why are there ads on GodTube? Let's figure it out. If this site will load, Jesus. Okay, why are there ads on GodTube? There are several reasons we allow ads on GodTube. Advertising and the associations we enter into with other organizations is something we are constantly, prayerfully discussing and debating internally. Certainly,
We
some
prayerfully
decisions-
debated
Yeah.
whether to divert you to a fitness app that costs you
Yeah.
$2.
Yeah, we really had to pray on that one. Certainly, some decisions are easier than others. Why is that in there? While many of our advertising partners choose to present their message to the audience because the product or service is of a Christian nature, other sponsors target GodTube from a strictly demographic standpoint. You don't say GodTube.
I bet the creators of GodTube did not do anything like that at all.
No. For example, a Christian music producer may advertise a new release because the audience is Christian and therefore likely to purchase it, while a life insurance company might target the audience because we are mostly made up of families with one or more children in the home. We try
I thought
very
they're going to say
hard.
old people.
Yeah, I thought they were going to say that too. We work with people who are towards end of life and need a life insurance policy. We try very hard to work with appropriate organizations. The unfortunate reality is that there would be no GodTube, no videos, no community, no website if we couldn't pay the bills and feed our families, etc. Advertising support is the best option available since we do not charge for our services and do not solicit donations. Instead, we choose to encourage our members, spelled there, which is great, to bless the ministries we partner with in their local church. This is the best we can do. We believe we do so in accordance with God's will, and He has chosen to bless our efforts in His service. We will continue to do the best we can while hopefully not becoming too much, quote, of the world, unquote, in the process. Okay.
You know, that answer did not need to be either that long or that defensive sounding.
Well, did you find it helpful? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, we'll hit no.
It helped me. I was helpful in that I understand this site a little better now that I read it.
Let's help them with feedback, huh? Let's should we put our YouTube, our Zadanza show at gmail.com?
No, we should not.
You don't want to give them some feedback?
Do you want that email address to be useful to us?
we need to give them some feedback. Zod. What do we put in there?
Make a burner email.
Hold on. What's Brad Stein's email? No, we shouldn't do that. Or should
oh gosh.
You think it's like Brad Stein at gmail.com?
Fletcher from on high said too late. They logged it when you typed it in.
Yeah. What's our feedback? We need more information, difficult to understand, inaccurate, irrelevant content, or missing or broken.
Your answer was too long and defensive and sounded insincere.
Was too long and defensive and sounded insincere.
Also, God is not real.
also, God is not real. Send. All right. I'm glad we gave them that feedback. They really needed that. I like how I want it to be a thing that every website we need to go to on this series, on this show of ours, we got to give them some feedback.
Kip Davis said, did they ever answer the question at any point? I feel like they did, more or less, right?
Yeah, there are several.
But they could have just said that could have been like one or two sentences saying, "Yeah, we understand, but we need money to keep this operational." Simple as that. We don't charge you, but that long rambling thing just felt, made them sound a little guilty, in my opinion.
Yeah, we should look at their privacy policy and see if it's
okay.
actually
Go
legit.
ahead.
Find
once you log onto the site, you waive all policy and use of your computer.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Oh man, okay, this is like a whole other thing here. Okay. Oh yeah, the About Us page. I did want to look at that, but let's go to terms of use. Periodically check the rules. Okay. Oh, there's a lot here. No creating or making statements falsely indicating you represent Salem Web Network. Okay. Oh, we can't impersonate. Oh, we broke the rules. We will not impersonate the community of any person. Well, there's a lot of Brad Steins in the world. Doesn't mean it's from that Brad Stein.
Wait, did you put Brad Stein on there?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't catch that.
I don't think it's his real email. If it is, that's hilarious. Okay, wow. Oh, look, you must designate notices of infringement to our designated agent, Sean McEvoy. Wow, we can email him. Oh, okay. Look, you can send copyright notices. Okay, well, that's all right.
They have like one guy who processes their complaints.
That's what it looks like. I mean, do they really need more than one? Wow.
Yeah,
well, you gotta be at least 13. That's good.
His job is probably boring. Like,
yeah, well, I'm assuming he does other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Any language, text, data, information, graphics, or videos that could be considered vulgar, pornographic, obscene, harmful, threatening, abusive, harassing, defamatory, hateful, unlawful, that are racially, ethnically, or otherwise objectionable, or that violate any copyright or other intellectual property rights of any person will not be promoted or transmitted via community areas. Okay. All right. So we do you think we might be considered vulgar or obscene?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You think so? I bet we could do okay. You know?
I mean, we could avoid it if we tried, but if this stream would not cut it on there.
Maybe not this
Claire
stream.
says, and thank you for the $4.99 super chat. I'm on the website. Ads and pop-ups are terrible. They have embedded Instagram reels and stuff too.
Oh man.
So Claire, are you using an ad blocker too, or are you like seeing these things in all their glory? Let us know in the chat. You don't have to super chat it. I'll try to catch it.
Yeah. Oh, they got contests? Wait, I didn't see this. The Chosen Last Supper movie ticket giveaway sweepstakes. Oh. Experience the final moments before the ultimate sacrifice. Enter daily through April 23rd, 2025. Oh, we missed it.
Ah, sucks.
Oh, I wanted to enter one. Dang. How crazy would that be if we entered one and we won?
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
How crazy if we entered one and you got like constant spam and put on all kinds of lists.
Yeah,
and...
you're right. Oh, do you want to sign up? Do you want to start our day with a smile? Should we put we can sign up here.
If you put our email address in anything, I am literally going to kill you.
Who wants to give their email up just to see so we can see what it's like? Anybody?
Claire says she's not using an ad blocker, so she's seeing everything in all caps.
Oh man. Oh no. Oh no. So I wanted to look at the ministry stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of it is pretty boring, and it's kind of what you'd expect.
They even have Billy Graham.
Yeah, they got Billy Graham on here.
Wow.
There is a high cost for following God, you know.
10% off the top.
I would show you, but it's taking forever. Yeah, it reminds us of the cost for following God. Billy Graham gave this message at the Tangerine Bowl in Orlando, Florida in 1983. Wow, we're getting the latest and greatest content on GodTube. He says an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Hell yeah. That's crazy. Another Billy Graham click. Parking lot safety warning could help save your life.
What?
That's great. Isn't that the content you want to see?
Yeah.
I know it is for me. Wait, what is that? Feast of Victory workbook. I don't know what that is. Oh, wait, what is that? ISIS opened my eyes. Samara's story. Whoa. Wait a minute.
Hollyhock has a question. Are there any Steve Anderson or Kent Hovind videos?
Probably. Okay, so here's an interesting thing about this site. I can't find a search bar literally anywhere. I don't think there is the capability to search. I don't know that they've actually indexed anything. So it might be
there's
hard
no
to find.
search?
There is no search, Zod.
What?
There is nothing. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It's actually right up here. I'm dumb. I didn't find that earlier.
That's a really weird
It's not a
place to
great
put a search
place.
bar. They are not eager for you to find it.
I almost want to watch this video. I haven't seen it though. I don't know if it's
Go ahead
good.
and click
From a
on it.
young age, Samar questioned the beliefs of Islam. The violent acts of ISIS only reaffirmed her doubts. Would she continue to follow Islam, or would she risk her life to follow Christ?
Wait, there's no long
That's it.
devotional and wow. All right.
Yeah.
I
Posted
guess
for-
once you've cut to the Islamophobia, you don't need to really
Yeah.
elaborate.
Oh, see, this is a GodTube video. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's just recap that for a second. That's not a good look for that.
What's that?
Just on its own. You know what I mean? If you like shared this image on your Facebook, people would question you a little bit. Don't you think?
I think where it says I thank God for ISIS.
Yeah. Like, that's not a great look. Right? I'm just putting that
Yeah,
out
they're
there.
trying to go for a little bit of shock value and switcheroo on their audience, but
Yeah, for sure. Oh my god, this music. What's going on?
My name is Summer, and I am 18 years old.
Reenactment.
I come from a very well-educated Saudi Arabian Ways
Okay.
follow-up team through Skype
Oh, wait,
for the
hold on.
truth. I called the number advertised on the screen and began corresponding with leading the Ways follow-up team through Skype.
Oh,
The
it's
Ways
an ad.
24/7 satellite channel
Look at that. This is just an ad
that
for
keep
this leading the way.
contacting follow-up team with my questions.
Viewers in closed countries.
Islamic religion. I often questioned the treatment of women in Islam, that their principles came for answers.
All right, well, that's dumb. It's just an ad. We want to look for Ken Hovind.
misinterpretation says it almost sounds AI.
It kind of does,
I
but
can
I don't
hear
think
that.
it is though.
Yeah.
Spelling Ken Hovind, right? Right? Hovind.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, they do have. Look, they got one from 17 years ago.
They got
on
hella Kent Hovind.
Dang.
So click on the one that's 17 years ago. I'm curious. Is that actually that can't
All
be
of
a
these
God-
are 17 years ago.
but these are probably all on YouTube, right? Like they're probably embedded from somewhere else.
Well, I don't. Maybe.
Because GodTube is not 17 years old. I'm sorry.
No, but they had a thing talking about Flash. Zod, it could be 17 years old.
Oh, maybe.
You know, this is uploaded March 17th, 2008. Video
GodTube
error,
was
audio
launched
video
in
not
spring of
supported.
2007.
It didn't load. Dang. Well, let's try this one. Oh, it's not working. What's up, GodTube? You gotta fix this. Age of the Earth. Oh, it's all creation science stuff.
Yeah, GodTube was started in 2007 by a CBS producer, among other people. Wow.
Really? Well, I guess he got the money and then just kept it rolling through ads. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess 2007 is a long time ago. I lose sight of the fact that that's ancient history now.
2007 was 18 years ago now, Zod.
Wow, holy cow.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Time is only going forward at a more and more rapid pace. And it's not great. But it is what it is. Anyway. About us. GodTube is a Christian video sharing website that exploded onto the scene in 2007, where it was the fastest growing US website by later that same year. Is that true? I don't think that's true. Hey, GodTube, I don't think that's true. What do you mean, fastest growing? I heard of this other little website. It was called YouTube. I'm pretty sure it started in like 2006. And I'm pretty sure it was picking up more traction than GodTube in 07. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think that's right. Oh, man. That is
according to This is on Wikipedia. According to
Okay.
ComScore, GodTube was the fastest growing U.S. website for the month of August. So, like in one particular month, anything can be the fastest growing.
Yo, what was happening in August 07? What was going on? That's crazy. Anything? They say why?
So, so they had a big spike in 2007. That's probably when they launched it and advertised it and stuff like that. But between then and February 2009, they went from 2.7 million viewers to just over 690,000. So they lost 75% of their viewers, it says.
Jeez, that's not good. They weren't keeping
And
up with the content.
In February 2008, the company raised $30 million from GLG Partners at a valuation of $150 million.
I bet they had some like viral video, and like that was one of the times on the internet where like YouTube wasn't the only thing. You could go to Newgrounds, you can go to Baba Black Sheep, whatever, to like watch your videos, and just like GodTube just like went real viral for something, you know?
In February, sorry, just keep reading on Wikipedia. Let me know if you
Yeah,
want me to
no,
stop.
go for
There's
it.
some interesting stuff here. In February 2009, GodTube relaunched as Tangle, expanding into a social network. Tangle also included other features such as an online Bible and an interactive prayer wall, and encouraged non-Christians and atheists to participate and share their points of view. By April 2010, GodTube returned as a separate site alongside Tangle. In May 2010, Salem Communications, Salem Web Network Division acquired GodTube and Tangle's parent company, Big Jump. So this has like buyers and parent companies and stuff like that. That's crazy. Huh. All right. I would like to think that this was just Dan, you there? Oh, I think Dan froze on us. Oh, and now he's completely gone. All right. Let me send him a message real quick. So I guess we're an hour in. So let me, well, I don't want to, God took Dan out. The Holy Spirit took him for blasphemy. I guess all your wishes are granted. GodTube got him. Going viral on YouTube is like 20 views. Do you mean GodTube, Jehovah's Philosopher? I guess, yeah, all your wishes to cancel Dan came true. He's gone now. I would start reading. I have the Love Dare here. So the story is, I already told Dan this part. I was at a used bookstore up here and someone gave me a bunch of credit. And so I bought this book. It was like $5 used on sale. And I already had the credit. So I just thought I would get it and we could read it on here. If you haven't seen Fireproof or read The Love Dare or anything like that, been exposed to it in a church environment, it is quite a wild thing. It shows that Christian culture does not have a lot of insight into relationships or how to fix them, or at least much interest in it. Haven't heard from Dan yet, though. I'll keep you up to date as I learn more. His internet might have just cut out. He had his outage tonight. We weren't sure if we were going to do the show at first. He had an outage and it just got fixed a couple hours before we started. You are Victoria. I guess you got is next. Fletcher from on high. Dan is dead. Dan. God is dead. God. Oh, I think he's back on his phone.
They're trying to stop us. They don't want us to know the secrets of GodTube. I think we're on to something, dude.
Yep. Everyone says that God got you or GodTube got you, one or the
Look,
other.
something happened in August of 2007 that they don't want us to know about. If we find out, it's bad news. So maybe we've dug too far. You know?
Yep.
I don't know. But sorry, guys, my internet is out again, and
Coincidence?
it's totally out. I'm on 5G right now, so it's not looking great. But
All right. Well, we have a. Do you want to stay on your phone for now and finish up the show?
I can stay because you have that book, right? Maybe we should switch to the book.
That's what I was gonna say. I just started telling the audience about this.
Okay.
So yeah, let me. Fireproof was a.
I'm gonna switch cameras here. Just hang on one second.
Okay. Fireproof was a movie starring Kirk Cameron, and it's basically what other movies? I forget the filmmaking association that these are the company. Let me know in the chat, or I can try to look it up. But they did they did a lot of videos, including not Remember the Titans, Facing the Giants, that football movie. I think their first one was Flywheel, which looked just like a church skit, basically. It was done by a church. Kendrick Brothers. Thank you, Hollyhock. Kendrick Brothers. Look up Kendrick Brothers if you want a good time. Maybe we could get into them at some point. Talk about the Kendrick Brothers and maybe.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Kendrick Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh,
is that like Kendrick Lamar's brother, and like him and Kendrick Lamar do a rap together?
Yes, and that's exactly what Kendrick Brothers is.
All right, cool. Like a cool Christian rap.
They have all kinds of movies. Overcomer, The Forge, Courageous, War Room, all these like just total shit inspirational Christian movies. And there's always the same like crummy actor who stars in most of them. But for Fireproof, they scored Kirk Cameron. So that was their big acting score. But basically, it's a movie about marriage and struggles in marriage. And so this guy is Kip David says about porn. Partly, yes. But yeah, this guy is like just a total piece of shit to his wife. And it looks like their marriage is on the rocks. I won't get into it much more than that. I think we should do a whole Kendrick Brothers thing. I think that would just be awesome.
Okay.
I would say we should watch all the movies, but that would be a lot. Blue Skies, by the way, says I have DVDs of Fireproof, Flywheel, and Facing the Giants in my basement from my pre-atheist period.
Oh man, that might do something to you if they stay too long. I don't know. They might have packed those DVD cases with radiation or some sort of toxic metal for all you know.
Yeah, so a little bit of flavor of these movies. They try to be really inspirational. Facing the Giants is a football movie. I think it's supposed to be kind of mimicking Remember the Titans. But one scene it has is this really big guy. They have him do this. They have him do this thing. He's kind of a bigger guy, maybe one of the linemen or something. And someone gets on his back and he has to like crawl on his hands and knees with a guy on his back and see how far he can go. And he's like, "Oh, I can't do this." So they blindfold him and he's going, and then he doesn't realize it. Before he did it, he crawled all the way across the football field with somebody on his back, and it's supposed to be really inspirational. Or one of their kickers quotes something from the Bible about I can do all things through Christ, or something about David I don't know, something like that. And then he of course kicks the field goal and these movies always have like a praying scene. I think the main character is like kind of shitty, but then he like will walk out into a field and then, everything's in soft focus and he prays to God and he instantly changes. It's all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But
great.
Fireproof, the main character is a firefighter. So you might imagine this movie has some really on the nose metaphor.
Yeah. So I've seen Fireproof. I was telling Zod this. My one memory of this movie, well, you reminded me of some more when we talked about it. But I have a very distinct memory of this movie of the main character I guess it's Kirk Cameron because he's the main character, right? Is like on his computer, wanting and there's like a lady with like a sweater on, and I think the caption says something like click on me or want to see
Wanna-
something like that.
Want to look or something like that.
Want to look. There it is. And Kirk Cameron is just, he's so mad. He's like frustrated and he's like standing up and down. He's like wanting to like throw the computer. I think he does throw the computer. He's like, why is this so hard? I just seen so much. It's like, oh my God, man, it's just a woman. Like, calm down. Like, she's not even doing anything. Like, I don't know.
I'm trying to look it up. But I can't get. I was trying to see if I could get a screenshot of that, but
it's just funny because it just points Kirk Cameron as like a really horny guy. Because like I don't even think she's doing anything that I guess because it's a Christian movie, they didn't want to show anything like too provocative. So it's literally just like a woman kind of looking at a camera, and it's like that's it. That was enough for him to be like, "Oh, I want to see her naked, like right now." Like, this is really funny.
Yeah. So long story short, without getting too much into it, and Prestige, these movies always have like a magic black man character, and he said Fireproof has 2. I don't remember that specifically, even though it kind of rings true, I guess. But their marriage is on the rocks because he's like borderline abusive. He's like in her face screaming, and so he talks to his dad and he realizes he needs to fix this marriage. And so his dad has him do something called the love dare, which I guess this is evangelical culture's idea of how you fix your marriage, not through any kind of serious therapy or, actually getting to the root of problems. But the love dare is just, if your marriage is on the rocks, if you're like, you basically scarred your partner with your behavior and there's a lack of trust, the way you build it back is just you do random nice things every day for 40 days and that fixes your marriage. And so his dad had him do this love dare, and I think it was written down in a notebook, but it was so they could sell this stupid devotional book as a tie-in. And so this book is actually every day for 40 days doing the love dare for your partner.
So wait, do you know this for a fact? Did the book come first and then the film part of it came second?
I'm pretty sure the movie came first because this was
okay.
The movie sold this, and this was like spun off from the movie. It was a really crass tie-in thing, and they knew that churches would just buy the fuck out of this thing once it was on the movie, and everyone's inspired to fix their marriages.
Well, I guess it was pretty successful.
Yeah, as somebody who had a rocky, ultimately terminated marriage in the church environment at this time, partly. I have some personal resentment over this, but also, no, I mean, okay. So did
you do the love dare though, Zod?
I don't think I did.
See, that was the problem. You didn't do the love dare.
When I say I take it personally, I just mean that this is one of those things that's extremely unhealthy about church culture. And I just mean that I've seen it from the inside.
Right.
I had my own problems. There were compatibility issues and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That was its whole other thing. But
sorry, I'm teasing you. But yeah, not being insensitive to your situation. But like, if your marriage is on the rocks, I don't think doing a nice thing for the other person every day for 40 days is going to be the cure for it. But yeah.
Yeah. And without getting personal or providing details or even blaming one person over another, we just weren't very compatible. Mm-hmm. And we had issues that ran a lot deeper than anything that's going to be in this stupid fucking book. And the problem is church culture, at least within evangelicalism, it has all kinds of stuff like this. And there's all kinds of just extremely surface level, superficial, completely fake advice that they act is going to treat your problems. And I think a lot of it is rooted in the Christian idea of just creating a virtuous versus sinful choice, or, that's what everything boils down to. And so this is just making the choice of being kind, I guess. And that's, if you do that enough, that'll solve your problems. If you've seen the movie, it does acknowledge that this isn't easy. Like, she puts up resistance at first, but her dad hammers home the point, just keep doing it. Just keep persisting in your love and kindness and she'll come around. And that's what happens. So I'm getting more into that than I thought I would. But so for this book, every day they have a different love dare. So day one is love is patient. And this one has, I don't know if you can see it, it has some highlighting in it. So somebody owned this book before I did. I don't know if that's people highlighted that, but also at the end of, I don't know how well you could see this. At the end of day 1, they have a part where you write stuff, and there's writing in there that's obviously fake handwriting that was printed in by the book. So I don't know if the book also made fake highlighting at the beginning.
Okay.
But yeah, the highlighting actually continues. So I have a feeling somebody did highlighting on this. So I can at least read the introduction for now, and then maybe we'll just take breaks from time to time in different streams and just do one Love Dare chapter.
That's what I'm saying, Zod. Maybe, like, Zod, you and I, our marriage, not me and my wife, we're great, but you and I, our marriage has obviously been on the rocks. I mean, we're constantly fighting. We're constantly, saying mean things to each other. I saw a picture of, a good looking guy wearing black and glasses. And I was just like, I got to click on it. You know what I mean? Like that. I was being tempted is what I'm trying to say. So, like maybe this book will help our situation a little bit.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not wearing black in case you're curious. This is a green sweater.
Maybe I'm colorblind, but that looks black to me. And see, this is a problem. This is a problem in our relationship, is that we can't even agree on objective facts like colors. So
maybe you just don't see color.
Yeah, that's probably it.
All right. So, and this is what the first page looks like. If it gives you some context, I don't know how well any of you can see that, but it's all caps. Every word on this is all caps, and this is the introduction.
Oh, great!
Very first sentence of the book, and this is written by Stephen and Alec Kendrick. So the Kendrick brothers wrote this book, insofar as you could say this book was actually written.
Okay. Kendrick Lamar and his brother wrote this book.
Okay. So first sentence, once you get past the title, receive this as a warning.
Oh, okay.
This 40-day journey cannot be taken lightly. It is a challenging and often difficult process, but an incredibly fulfilling one. To take this dare requires a resolute mind and a steadfast determination. It is not meant to be sampled or briefly tested, and those who quit early will forfeit the greatest benefits. If you will commit to a day at a time for 40 days, the results could change your life and your marriage. Consider it a dare from others who have done it before you.
Wow. Okay. That's a big warning. That makes me want to not buy the book. We should put it back down and look at something else in the library. Yeah.
And again, I think I've seen someone in the chat say they hate this kind of stuff. I do too. Like, this is legitimately harmful. These people have no qualifications. They're not family counselors or psychologists or anything like that. There's nothing about this that is like vetted or will demonstrably help anybody at all. And I find that just extremely irresponsible. And I know everybody in the world, there's pop culture bullshit and self-help books and stuff like that all over the place. But this is so prevalent in evangelicalism and just so incredibly simplified. And it tends to shame people for a lot of things you should not be shaming people for. And,
Right. There is an idea that, like, if your marriage doesn't work, somehow you're a bad person or you're necessarily at fault for it. Right. And it's like, it's like maybe sometimes people need to take responsibility for that kind of stuff. But with a lot of Christian marriages, especially, you probably just married somebody too fast, or you just got an idea in your head before you were really ready to do that. And that's one of my biggest problems with Christians who talk about marriage anyway. It's like, you guys talk about marriage like it's just like the be all end all solution to a problem, and it's not. Like, I don't know. It's never been a healthy view in my mind.
And this is after you pretty much encourage people to rush into it because they're not allowed to live together, have relations or anything. So if you want to get laid, if you want to put it crassly, that's what you got to do. And I don't think that necessarily leads people making smart decisions.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it too.
Yeah, and also, you consider it a massive failure. Yeah, like you said, you're a bad person if your marriage doesn't work out. And also, there's a very unhealthy and unqualified demand to forgive people too. And I don't think that that's necessarily a healthy thing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an unhealthy, unmature way to view marriage, and Christians just have never been progressive about the topic, like, ever. I've never seen a progressive take from Christians on marriage in this capacity, right?
No. So there's the 2-page introduction here. I'll read it real quick. We won't actually do a chapter today, but this will give us just a sense of what this book's about. This sets the stage, tells us what the activity is.
Mm-hmm.
The scriptures say that God designed and created marriage as a good thing. It is a beautiful, priceless gift. That's setting a lot of high expectations there.
Mm,
He uses
definitely.
marriage to help us. He uses marriage to help us eliminate loneliness, multiply our effectiveness, establish families, raise children, enjoy life, and bless us with relational intimacy. So again, putting way too much on just what's you deciding that maybe you and another person, would be a good fit to live with each other. But beyond that, marriage also shows us, but wait, there's more. Our need to grow and deal with our own issues and self-centeredness through the help of a lifelong partner. If we are teachable, we will learn to do the one thing that is most important in marriage, to love. This powerful
I thought it was to have sex, but okay, that's fine.
Depends on who you ask. If you ask Brad Stein, that's the reward for putting up with all this shit.
That's true. It's a reward,
This powerful union provides the path for you to learn how to love another imperfect person unconditionally. It is wonderful. It is difficult. It is life-changing. So not only is marriage supposed to make all your dreams come true, it's going to fix you as a person. So
yeah, I don't think you have to love your partner unconditionally. I actually think there's room for that. Like, if I found out my partner murdered somebody and was a Nazi, I think I'm cool with leaving them. You know what I mean? It would be hard, but I think I'd have a right to that. I don't know. Does it need to be unconditional every time? I think there's some conditions,
unless you mean love them unconditionally in the sense that you love everybody, in that, intellectually you hope for the best for them, to see them reformed and, be a rehabilitator. But that's a meaningless way to use the word if you're talking about
I don't want to have just that kind of love for my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? maybe
a
little bit more than that.
Saying to love your spouse unconditionally is basically a deepity. It's meaningless to whatever extent it's true, and it's false to whatever extent it's meaningful. So whatever.
Yeah.
This book is about love. It's about learning and daring, blah, blah, blah. And this journey begins with the person who's closest to your spouse. May God bless you as you begin this adventure. But be sure of this. It will take courage. If you accept this dare, you must take the view that instead of following your heart, you are choosing to lead it.
I triple dog dare you.
The world says to follow your...
There's a couple that's arguing in the Barnes and Noble, and they're like, I double dog dare you to start this. And then the husband looks her in the eyes like, I triple dog dare you. No. And they get started. That's great.
Yeah. Katie Dodson has a good point. Loving someone doesn't mean you can make a marriage work. And a pastor at the church I used to go to, he said that any two people, if they put in the work and love each other, can make a marriage work. And I don't think that's true. Clearly, some people just aren't compatible. That's just a really bad idea to suggest.
Or make a marriage work means make a marriage tolerable, right? Which is why would you want that? Wouldn't you want more than just tolerable? I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, this whole thing of following your heart versus leading it, it's the oldest thing in the Christian book if you've been in evangelical Christian culture. So we need to think differently, lead instead of follow, blah, blah. They were read out a few times as if that needed to be done. The love dare journey is not a process of trying to change your spouse to be the person you want them to be. You've no doubt already discovered that efforts to change your husband or wife have ended in failure and frustration. Rather, this is a journey of exploring and demonstrating genuine love, even when your desire is dry and your motives are low. The truth is, love is a decision and not just a feeling.
Well, something's going to be drying after reading this book, I think.
I didn't think you were going to let that go. By the way, this person thought that line was so important and
What, the
impactful,
drawing line?
No, the
Oh.
truth is love is a decision and not just a feeling. Like
Mm.
that's the most mundane. I would say that's not necessarily.
I think I
entirely
heard that on my first day of church.
Yeah.
You know,
That's not a new insight. I mean, number one, love is a multifaceted word. It can mean different things. There's probably value in that, but I'm sorry if that's such news to you that you feel like you need to highlight it. I think maybe you have other issues.
well, maybe they do need help from the book. I don't know if that's going to be new information, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people have pretty unhealthy ideas of love, but I have a feeling this book is not going to improve on that too much.
Hollyhock has a good observation. I know in the movie they said that both men and women could do the love dare, but this feels aimed towards men.
It does. I was thinking that as you're reading, I was like, this sounds like a book written by a man. Definitely.
And I don't know how well you can see it, but even the design of this looks like there's very much within Christian culture. There's like a woman design book and a men design book.
Mm-hmm.
The men design book, this doesn't look as masculine as like the ones that have camo and, or military design and stuff like that. But this looks like more of as much of a love thing could look like manly. I don't know. It's very brown and
right. Looks like faux leather.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can see it.
But yeah, everything in the phrasing of this, I didn't even think about that until Hollyhock brought it up. This feels like you're talking to a man and not a woman, even though I can't put my finger on exactly why.
I think it's because it's the man that's going to try to make a bad marriage work like in this kind of way. I don't know. That seems like more of a dude thing to me. That's just based on vibes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We're opening a lot of cans of worms for the end of this show, but
that's true.
I think that's worth pointing out. Within evangelicalism, I think there's a lot more of an issue of women leaving marriages than men.
Yeah.
And men like don't tend to their marriages or take them for granted and then suddenly make these desperate attempts to win their wife back in just like the most obtuse churchy way possible.
Right.
And then the church rallies around them and like pities them and everything as if the woman just went wild and, this poor Christian man sitting there all divorced.
Right.
Not that that's anything like, I've personally experienced.
No, it's true. So like something that has stuck with me, I can't remember the exact quote, but I'll paraphrase a Tumblr post that somebody made one time, which was like, well, you're willing to like go to battle for me or die to a sword for me, but like, are you willing to like eat healthy? Are you willing to like, take care of yourself, take care of, do basic things around the house or things like that? And it's like, oh, that's such a truth to that. Cause there's a lot of guys that tend to think these dramatic gestures are what need to be to make a relationship happen. And it's just like, no, you just need to do basic shit. And you're probably just failing on basic shit. So,
Erica said because the woman already did everything she could to make it work.
Yeah.
And yeah, Hionan, sorry if I'm not saying that right. The divorce came out of nowhere.
Right.
I'd say this definitely isn't one-dimensional. There's a lot of aspects to it. But one thing is, of course, within this church culture, men are more favored. They're told that they're the leaders of the household, and depending on the church, but a lot of it is very much the women being subservient to the men and the men leading and stuff. And so the way men are encouraged to think is very obtuse toward women, even though they'll say otherwise.
Right.
They talk about being more sensitive and in tune to women's needs, but it's very heavily mansplained and targeted at men.
Yeah. And also when you take leadership, taking leadership also usually means taking responsibility, but they never seem to take responsibility in that regard. Like it always ends up being something. She took the kids, you know what I mean? Like it's that kind of energy sometimes, you see. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to wrap this up just real quick.
Yeah.
Basically, at the last page of this, it just gives us the 3 steps. So every day of this journey will contain 3 very important elements. First, a unique aspect of love will be discussed. Read Read each of these carefully and be open to a new understanding of what it means to genuinely love.
Hold on,
someone.
ain't there 40 of these?
Yeah.
Dang, okay. All right.
Second, you will be given a specific dare to do for your spouse. Some will be easy and some very challenging, but take each dare seriously and be creative and courageous enough to attempt it. Don't be discouraged if outside situations prevent you from accomplishing a specific dare. Just pick back up as soon as you can and proceed with the journey. Last, you will be given a journal space to log what you are learning and doing and how your spouse is responding. It is important that you take advantage of this space to capture what is happening to both you and your mate along the way. These notes will record your progress and should become priceless to you in the future, I'm sure. Remember, you have a responsibility to protect your heart. Don't give up. Resolve to lead. Learning to truly love is one of the important things. And then they end with the verse, now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13:13.
All right. Wow. Great. What's the first dare?
I'll give the title of it and then we'll
You don't want to do the first dare?
we have 3 minutes left. That's not enough time to do this.
All right. Okay.
Day one, love is patient.
Patient. Okay. Ooh, that's a good segue to say that we should do it next time.
Exactly. Be patient, Dan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this is resolve to lead. Yikes, exactly. This is, I'm sorry, along with the fact that this is very oversimplified, just doing your good deed or love dare or whatever for the day. Again, I said this is mansplained. I think this is very much a male-centered fix your marriage thing, right? And I think if you really tried to put yourself, I'm not saying I can claim to think the way a woman would think or understand what they would experience in the situation, but I can only guess that if you were a wife and in Christian culture and your marriage wasn't going well and your husband starts just doing this random nice thing as he's reading it out of a workbook every day, you're at the very least, it's going to come off as annoying and you're probably going to feel very manipulated. Like, I think it's going to be very obvious to you that he wants a certain result and he's going through motions to get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good way to phrase it. Cause like you both kind of have to want it. And this book is kind of targeted towards the one guy that really wants it, but does it. I mean, maybe they'll address it in the book. Who knows? Maybe they'll say, oh, marriage is something you both want. I don't know. But yeah, I can see how this could be a man's guide to trying to get your marriage together. I don't know.
Yeah. If you think that you can do this stuff and the person's not going to be able to read between the lines, I'm sorry, you're just kind of an idiot. Or you're the kind of willfully obtuse that led to this problem to begin with.
I was going to say, Zod, there's many kinds of people in this world. I mean, obviously this book sold money for a reason, right? So I don't know. I've heard of it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of books I haven't heard of. I've heard of this one. I don't know.
Well, I think it's sold for a reason, but I don't think that reason is that it works.
No, no. I mean, The Secret is also one of the most popular books ever, right? Like, It doesn't have to work. It just has to be a really good idea for people.
This is a less overtly coercive version of like sending your kids to those camps where they get like yelled at by drill sergeants and march through the desert.
Yeah, it is kind of like that.
It's appealing to somebody's need to fix something, even though the solution itself is not any good and is just going to make things worse.
Yeah.
Well, this thing got us rolling more than I thought it would, but
well, that's a good introduction. Maybe we'll have some more content from it in the future. But
yeah, I think we should throw one of these in a lot of weeks, if not every week.
We need I just realized all we have to do is clip our devotionals of this book to GodTube. And I think we can do it. I think that's our way in, bud.
There we go. All right.
I'm just saying.
We should probably wrap up here, but it's been a fun journey looking at GodTube, exploring the beginning of the Love Dare. Boy, this thing brings back so many memories once I open up and start reading it of just not just the specific book and of the movie, but just of what Christian culture is like in terms of dealing with marriages and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. all good memories. I hope, Zod. Right? Totally.
Oh yeah, of things being handled in a very thoughtful, healthy way.
Yeah. Well, I just got started with my marriage, so maybe this will be helpful in the growth of my marriage. I'll have to start telling my wife, honey, we got to do the love dare. And maybe she'll be like, already? Like, what the heck? We just got started, but I don't know.
It would be so funny if you just, without telling her, you just started doing it and see what happens.
I think she'd probably catch on. It's a bit. I probably have some stupid grin on my face while I did it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for being here. Please like and comment. Tell all your friends that you were here at Zadanza and you enjoyed it and that they would too.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you to all the super chatters. You guys were very busy tonight. I appreciate that. And also just thanks for your company in the chat. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. And tell GodTube to give me my internet back, please. I need somebody to please message them. Message that guy, what's his name, Sean, on the privacy page, on the terms of service. He had an email. Somebody should go email him for me, please. And tell him, hey, we need our internet back. But I
think that was a good closing thought to the show, huh?
I think so. I'm good with that.
Have a good night, everybody. And dare to love.
Dare to love.
Voy a cantar esta canción con mucho cariño de mi corazón a la República Dominicana, la casa del merengue y la casa de la bachata. Voy a cantar esta canción con mucho cariño de mi corazón a la República Dominicana, la casa del merengue y la casa de la bachata. La, 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 la casa del merengue. La, 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 y la casa de la bachata.